Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello and welcome back, my esteemed students, to lesson number 4 and unit number 12. This lesson has the title of grammar number 1. In this lesson we will learn some sentence patterns. Let's do the first task, number A. Look at the list of grammar features. How are they different in Arabic and English? Here we want to make a comparison between Arabic and English, but the topics or the features we wanted to compare between are the verb to be, questions, modal verbs, can, must, should, and so on, and word order. So let's begin with the first one, the verb to be. In English, the verb to be has a lot of forms. Is, are in present. But in Arabic, it doesn't have like these forms. Whereas in Arabic, there is one form. Yeah. And if we want to make continuous, we have to use verb to be. But in Arabic, we don't need verb to be to make continuous. Number 2, questions. In English, we need an auxiliary verb to form a question. But in English, we don't need auxiliaries at all. What about modal verbs such as can, must, should, and so on? These modal verbs must be followed by verbs which are infinitive, in the infinitive form. But in Arabic, there is no infinitive after modal verbs. What about the word order? In English, the sentence begins with a subject, then a verb, after that an object or a complement. But in Arabic, we begin our sentences using verb, then subject, after that the object and the complement. So the word order is different between Arabic and English. Now let's do practice number C. Reorder the words to make complete sentences. We have here an example. Enough, that, not, old, and to. We have to put these words in the correct order to make a full sentence. I am not old enough to vote. Let's do practice number 1. To, on, work, hot, was, and to. The sand was too hot to walk on. Number 2. How, no, spell, to, word, and this. Do you know how to spell this word? Number 3. Tested, have my 2 eyes. I need to have my eyes tested. Number 4. Do, forgot, my, I, but, homework, to, and going. I was going to do my homework, but I forgot. Number 5. Scottish, jumper, wool, thick. This is my thick Scottish wool jumper. What about number 6? We have enough to, ripe, not, are, eat. Those grapes aren't ripe enough to eat. Now, after doing this exercise, orally you can see the answers, my students. So here are the answers. You can look at them, you can think of them carefully, and then please write them down in your books. Now after that, let's move to another practice or exercise. Exercise number D. Complete each sentence first with an appropriate verb in the correct form and then any other necessary words. We have an example here. I don't know where to go this evening. And then we have a lot of sentences like I've decided, I'm looking forward to, the teacher often reminds us, I promise, I feel like, people always tell me, and finally we have my parents congratulated me on. So here we have some sentences or the beginning of some sentences, and we want to make meaningful sentences. Number 1, I have decided to study medicine at university. 2, I'm looking forward to. Here you have to draw your attention carefully, my students, to something, which is after looking forward to comes a gerund. I mean verb ending with ing. So the sentence becomes I'm looking forward to going, not to go, to going on holiday with my family next month. Number 3, the teacher often reminds us to do our homework. 4, I promise to keep in touch when we move away. 5, I feel like eating an ice cream. 6, people always tell me to turn my music down. And then my parents congratulated me on passing my exams. Let's do practice number A on workbook page number 54. Some of the sentences are wrong. Tick the ones that are right and then correct the ones that are wrong. So let's read the sentences. We have 8 sentences. Number 1, I can't find my dictionary. I must have leave it at home. Number 2, when I leave school I will have studied English for 10 years. 3, why didn't you do the work? 4, it must have been difficult to communicate before email. 5, who does know the answer to this question? 6, I will finish the essay before tomorrow afternoon. Number 7, who you spoke to on the phone? And then number 8 and the last sentence, he can't have been the murderer. He was out of town. Let's deal with these sentences one by one. So the first one is wrong. I can't find my dictionary. I must have leave it at home. After have, we have to put verb in the third form. What about number 2? When I leave school, I will have studied English for 10 years. This sentence is true. Number 3, why didn't you do the work? Also here, this sentence is true. 4, it must have been difficult to communicate before email. This sentence is true. Number 5, who does know the answer to this question is wrong. So the true sentence is who knows the answer to this question. So there is no need to use auxiliary verb do or does here, because we are asking about the doer, the subject, the agent. Number 6, I will finish the essay by tomorrow afternoon. This sentence is not true. Why? because after will or auxiliary verbs or modals we must put verb 0 or infinitive verb. So after will we have to put finish instead of finished. I will, or we can say I will have finished the essay by tomorrow afternoon. I will have finished the essay by tomorrow afternoon. Then number 7, who you spoke to on the phone. Here we don't have an auxiliary verb, so we have to put an auxiliary verb. Who did you speak to on the phone? And number 8, he can't have been the murderer. He was out of town. This sentence is true and it doesn't have any mistakes. And after doing this exercise, we can conclude this lesson number 4, my students. So please study it hard. Thank you for listening to me and see you later.